What is up, Gundam Meisters and Innovators? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are diving into the manga Mobile Suit Gundam 00F. This manga takes place during the events of Season 1 of Gundam 00. We meet the Fereshte team, who are a part of Celestial Being and help the Ptolemaeus crew while hiding in the shadows. Our hero, Fa Spak, is a Celestial Being who is also a slave. Let's not waste any time, and let's dive into this. Aeolia Schimberg makes Celestial Being known to the world with the sole mission of eliminating war. Echo Kalori is watching Exia make itself known as it takes care of Patrick Colasar's enact. He wishes he could be the pilot of that Gundam. Shal Acoustica, the commander, tells them to watch the Ptolemaeus team, as their fates are tied to them. The Fereshte team. Von Spock scoffs at Aeolia's ideas, claiming that ideals can't change things. He is handcuffed because he is a slave. More on that soon. He thinks that Celestial Being's first impression is quite strong, but the higher-ups didn't spend their money wisely. Shal says that he and Echo are Gundam Meisters, so why does he have so much hate towards Aeolia's words of peace? He thinks that peace won't be achieved, but he is interested in changing the world with the Gundam. Shal doesn't care as long as he does his job. When Shal was younger, she was scouted to be a part of Celestial Being. She created the Fereshte team with permission of Veda. Their purpose is to support Celestial Being. She gets new mission orders from Veda. They are to attack HRL troops deployed in the CS-35 area. Fawn is to launch in the Estrella, but he bluntly says he will launch in the Plutone. This triggers a memory from Shal's past, as she also piloted this second-generation Gundam. Fawn gets real close to Shal and says that she seems to have a strong connection with that unit. Fawn asks Hanayo to ask Veda if he could use the mobile suit. Hanayo was a former Gundam Meister and Innovate who put herself in a Hado. What? Veda doesn't have a problem so long as they complete the mission. He gets into Plutone with Hanayo. The GNY-44 Gundam Plutone is the fourth Gundam of the second-generation Gundams, and developed off of O Gundam. It is also made in the colony Krung Thep. Data collected in the Gundam Plutone are used in creating the Gundam Artemy, Gundam Natalie, and Gundam Virtue. This unit contains a core fighter in its cockpit. However, despite its name, it has no weapons and is used mainly for escaping. Other weapons include a Aegean beam rifle, a Aegean beam saber, a Aegean shield, a Aegean field, and a dock for Hanayo, which connects to Veda. Once he is confirmed locked in the cockpit, his handcuffs come off. He does something he has been wanting to do for a while. Yeah, he's been wanting to scratch that for some time. He launches Celestial Being's intervention, and with it the world, who is stuck in a zero-sum arms race, begins fighting back against the Gundams. HRL utilized super soldiers, AEU strengthened their PMC, and the Union formed an investigation squad. Setsuna engages in battle with Graham Acker. Fereshte analyzes Exia's battle data. Echo complains about Fawn handling that data. Something about saying Fawn handling that data sounds dirty. He says, "You snooze, you lose." Fawn says that the custom flag sacrificed firepower for attack speed in an attempt to set Exia off balance. He says it only needs one shot because it won't have time for a second shot. The stronger the output of the linear rifle, the longer it takes to charge up. Echo wonders how he figured out the velocity. Did he just do physics in his head? Fawn says it is so obvious, you idiot. He really says he never averts his eyes and he could see everything. Echo says it could go twice the speed of a normal flag and to not underestimate it. Fawn goes on and says that Exia went underwater and the flag didn't follow. It probably has very little fuel and paper-thin armor. Shal comes in with a new mission. Fawn and Echo both fight over who will be the pilot, but Shal gives it to Fawn. He will be piloting the Gundam Sadalsud Type F. The GNY-00F Gundam Sadalsud Type F is a variant of the original Sadalsud and has improved sensor capabilities. This is a good intelligence gathering unit, but doesn't hold up to the other Gundams. We will also see in the future that the Trans Am is built into this unit, like the original. We will also see a Aegean Tau replica of this machine. Weapons include a Aegean beam saber, a revolver bazooka which uses physical rounds, the same Aegean sniper rifle used by Gundam Dynames, a Veda dock for Hanayo, and optical camouflage. This mobile suit has a mask to hide its identity as a Gundam. Also, to hide its identity, it limits the amount of GM particles it has. This is why it can't hold up to the Gundams. As Lock-On heads out on a mission, so too does Fawn. His mission is to support Dynames. The Pillar of Heaven is their main focal point. This is a test for Dynames' sniping underwater capabilities. Veda foresees that enemy forces might oppose this operation. That is where Fereshte comes in. Lock-On begins sniping, but he misses. Hato tells him that the enemy is spreading a concentrated jamming substance. He can't fire. Underwater is Fawn. He uses his giant forehead sensor to sense the enemies nearby. He becomes Lock-On's eyes and ears. Hanayo patches into Veda and relays his sensor data, and then forwards that data onto Lock-On's Hato. Dynames can shoot again. Lock-On is able to complete the mission, and thus Fawn is able to complete his. In Azadistan, Fawn is taking out a recon ship when Shaw calls in regards to a new mission that just came in from Veda. He is in the Astrea Type F with the sensor mask. More on this unit next time. Alejandro and the UN assisted Marina in helping her nation acquire power, but conservatives oppose the reformists' views and don't want help from outside forces. Veda predicts that a third party is getting involved and purposefully rushing conflict. As the world turns to solar power, the Middle East still relies on fossil fuels. In 2307, there are ways to take care of carbon dioxide, but this costs money, which is something the Middle East doesn't have. Azadistan, being the first to adopt solar power, will set a precedent and show that solar power is cheaper. However, people will want to keep those fossil fuels the primary power source in the Middle East. People will always fight change. This mission, the team will use Gundam Abulhul Type F. The Gundam Abulhul Type F is the upgraded version of the Abulhu and is a transformable mobile suit that could switch between MS form and flight form even mid-flight. The MS form has AMBAC capabilities as well as aerodynamic controls that are not possible in flight form. The Gundam head is typically hidden so the team could lay low on missions. This unit is equipped with GN Vulcans, a GN Beam Saber, a GN Beam Rifle, a GN Hand Missile unit also found on Kidios, and an optional tail unit. One part of the GN drive is the solar furnace, which converts GN particles for use. The Fereshte team only has one, so only one could go out at a time even though they have 4 Gundams and 2 pilots. Fawn tells Echo that it means he will never pilot a Gundam. Echo says that isn't true. Shell comes over and tells them that Fawn will once again be the pilot for this mission. That is when they meet with Wang and Hong Long. Remember, they are agents for Celestial Being who functions as guides financially and intel-wise. Virtue and Kidios will be focusing on their mission at the L4 point. Fereshte team is to assist Exia and Dynames. As Dynames launches, so too does Fawn. They head to Azadistan to begin their attack. A missile barrage comes towards the city. Dynames snipes some missiles, but it isn't enough. Fawn is disappointed and Lock-On. 2 Union flags heads towards the direction of the missile launch, while a flag custom heads towards Dynames. Fawn goes to help with the 2 regular flags. He thinks if Lock-On can't handle 1 flag, he doesn't deserve to be a part of Celestial Being. The 2 flags are piloted by Daryl and Howard, who are chasing an enact piloted by Ali. Fawn shoots past the 2 flags and engages with Ali. He is even able to do the Graham special, which I am sure the Gundam Meisters could achieve way before Graham. Fawn says that he knows his voice. His mission was simply to see who the third party causing chaos was, and he now knows it is the mercenary Ali. Fawn seems to know him. He doesn't engage as he thinks that keeping Ali alive would be more interesting. Wang is informed that Ali has access to mobile suits. They also know that Setsuna is from Krugis and must know Ali personally. Fawn leaves it to Setsuna to handle. Later, the Fereshte team watches on as Exia makes his appearance in Azadistan to hand over Rashmati to Marina. Echo thinks this is a bad idea, but Fawn believes that Setsuna is doing this to change the world. Even though he and Fawn are trying in different ways, they still have a similar goal. Fawn doesn't seem to want to be a Gundam though. Fawn is in the Taklamaklan desert, circling around watching Setsuna fight Ali in the Gristle mobile armor. Fawn wants to help him out, but he is told by Hanayo to remain on standby. Later, the team is informed of the joint venture by all 3 nations. Of course, they know this is a ruse to take down Celestial Being. Echo wonders if they are finally going to protect the Ptolemaeus crew. Shawl says no. They are to do nothing. They are to be on standby. She wonders if Veda is keeping them in their back pocket just in case things go wrong. Fawn knows that they only have 1 active Gundam at a time. If the Ptolemaeus team can't handle it, they can't handle it. He heads out to at least watch the battle in action. He runs into Cheryl Lynn on his way to the hangar. Cheryl Lynn Hyde is a celestial being mechanic and a disciple of Ian Vashti. She reminds him that Veda's word is law, but he claims that perhaps Veda has been hacked. He wants to prove it. Hanayo unlocks his handcuffs and he heads out. He watches as the Gundams are almost destroyed until the Throne Gundams come in to help. Back at the ship, Shaw says that the Ptolemaeus team knows nothing about the Fereshte team, so it makes sense that they wouldn't know about the Throne team. In the hangar, Cheryl Lynn tells Fawn that maybe Veda was hacked. She secretly talked to Ian, and he said that those new Gundams have a different solar furnace. That is when Hanayo projects a hologram of her former self. Her former self definitely didn't have those cat ears. Or does she? Is this universe like that one episode of Batman Beyond? You know which one I'm talking about. She restates that Veda's word is law, but Fawn isn't buying it. He reminds Hanayo that she is connected to Veda, but she has an individual identity separate from Veda. She denies this and says that she is merely a vessel for them to talk to Veda. Fawn says, cogito ergo sum, which is Latin for I think therefore I am, and he walks away. The Fereshte team operates within the Euclides. The CBS-68 Euclides is a celestial being factory ship and construction station. They are a moving repair shop, essentially. I guess they are a lot like the Junk Guild in many ways. It has a rotatable docking ring like the Ptolemaeus, but this ship has 8 containers, used for shipping, maintenance, or just docking. It can also add various modules to the ship. It is big enough to accommodate all of the Ptolemaeus too. It has a giant work arm and a Aegean field. The Euclides gets a red alert. It is the Trinity team approaching them. I wonder if they met with the Ptolemaeus or the Fereshte first. As they approach the ship, new orders come in from Veda. Shaw is shocked. Johan of the Trinity team informs them that they are to hand over O Gundam and their Aegean furnace. The Fereshte team is hereby disbanded. Fawn launches in Gundam Plutone. His handcuffs are released. Fawn engages in battle with Johan. Johan tells him if he continues, the bomb in his head will go off. As a slave, he has a bomb inside of him that will go off if he disobeys. Of course, he doesn't listen and continues fighting. Johan reports this to Veda, and the bomb in his neck instantly goes off. Hanayo informs the Fereshte team that his vitals are dropping fast. Mikhail goes in and taunts the downed Gundam Meister. Johan tells him not to let his guard down. That is when Fawn continues fighting against the Trinity team. He has 10 minutes until his heart and lungs give out. He is going to use that time wisely. And that will do it for this episode. This is a fun, light read. There really isn't a lot of meat on this bone and just kind of gives you more of what you experienced during the first season of 00. It is super fun, but don't go looking for depth. Next time, we will see the outcome of the battle with the Trinity team. Hanayo tries to save Fawn and Ian, and Dr. Marino meets with the Fereshte team. He's the doctor that tried to save Lock-On's eye. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, in this universe, you can apparently upload yourself to a Hado if you have beta access. Peace.